Okay everyone, I hope you're enjoying the course so far, and as always make sure you're taking notes after watching these, write it down on the document and make sure you're asking questions in the community. You can reach out to any of us at any time. No question is a stupid question. Alright, so right now we want to talk about the Renters Reform Bill, and understanding the Renters Reform Bill will be a massive assistance in your negotiation in the future. But to understand renters reform, we really need to understand what Section 21 and Section 8 is. So, simply put, Section 21 is the landlord's rights to evict a tenant through non-fault. Perhaps they need the property back for personal circumstances, or maybe they need to sell. What matters is that it doesn't actually matter. Now, Section 8 is also the landlord's rights to evict a tenant through fault. So, potentially the tenant has become a nuisance to other tenants in a block of apartments, or maybe the landlord is suffering with rent arrears, or potentially they've caused damage. But the Renters Reform Bill protects tenants and is the abolishment of Section 21, introduced in late 2025 for the implementation in May 2026. Now, as you can already probably tell, this is a huge problem because you are stripping the landlord's rights to evict a tenant through non-fault. So now these landlords, they need tenants because they need cash, but they're worried about picking the wrong tenants, or even just any tenant at all, because nobody knows what the future holds. And if they need to regain the property, they might struggle. So this is where we can come in as a company, as a management company, okay, as a corporate company, and say, hey, Mr. Landlord or Mrs. Landlord, we are outside of these regulations and we can still provide you this safety net. If you ever needed your property back and you needed to use Section 21, you can still use it to evict a tenant such as myself. So you can understand why understanding Renters Reform Bill can be a massive assistance in your negotiation in the future, because at the end of the day, everybody wants a certain aspect of protection, and as times move forward, landlords are losing their protection and now they have their backs up against the wall. So I know we've already spoke about it, but historically Section 21 allows landlords to regain possession without proving tenant fault, provided procedures were followed. Section 8 relies on legally defined grounds for possession, requires justification such as rent arrears, breach of tenancy, specific statutory grounds. Okay? The static impact on landlords and operators. Tenant quality becomes more important, referencing and screening becomes critical, arrears prevention becomes a core skill, and property strategy matters more. This naturally favours well-run, systemised operators over casual landlords. Using this to your advantage. Now, I've already explained how we can use this to your advantage, but market shifts create opportunity. Where something changes, there will always, if there's light, there's dark. If there's dark, there's light. If there's good, there's bad. It's all about finding the loopholes and being able to find where you can be as of service to these landlords. Okay, so it might be a bad situation, and it potentially they just need educating on your services and how you would be the obvious next choice for these landlords. So increase landlord anxiety and confusion, greater demand for professional management, higher value placed on risk reduction, strong operators gain competitive advantage. So this is where we come in, a strong operator, the safety net for the landlords. Section 21 still exists and we can be a good tenant. So understanding renters reform is very important. It is introduced and will be implemented in May 2026. So landlords are already thinking about this. There is probably plenty of landlords out there that are almost refusing to rent to tenants, and they need someone like you. So understand this process and you will win. All right, let's get to the next module.